Hi, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading, and this is everything you need to know about Kibler's Long Rifle's new Woodsrunner Flintlock kit. As of recording on the last day of May 2022, the Woodsrunner kit is available for pre-order, and Kibler says it will be shipping in the next few weeks. This kit is reminiscent of a true frontier rifle. It's based on the original piece nicknamed the Woodsrunner by long rifle historians. It's believed to have been made in the valleys of Virginia sometime around the 1760s. It's expected to weigh 7.5 to 8 pounds depending on the caliber of barrel that you go with. The barrel length is going to be 39.75 inches long. It has a swamped barrel profile like we see with all of Kibler's kits, and it's available in 45, 50, and 54 calibers. This kit looks to be kind of bridging the caliber gap between the Kibler Colonial and the Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle. The length of pull is going to be 13.3/8 to 13.5 inches and features a 3/16 cast off in the stock. The wood available for the Woodsrunner stock is going to be on par with the rest of Kibler's kits here. You have a cherry, walnut, maple, fancy maple, and extra fancy maple available for your stock profile. If you're interested in providing your own stock blank, Kibler has the parameters and the requirements that he needs to machine it available on his website if you're interested in doing that kind of thing. Kibler's going to be repurposing his round-faced English lock, the same lock that's on the Kibler Colonial. For this kit, there is a sliding wood patch box only included with this kit. It features brass hardware and a single trigger. YouTube doesn't want me to mention prices here, but you can check that out on your own. I've received a lot of questions about the Woodsrunner kit since it was released last Friday. I've tried to do my due diligence here and get this around. As always, for more information, you want to check out Kibler's Long Rifles. I expect he'll be doing a video here shortly. And Jim, if you're interested in doing an interview, I'd love to have you on the podcast to talk about the development of this new kit. I think folks would love to hear about the process that you went through to build this. Apart from that, one of the main questions I received is what are the differences between the Kibler Colonial, Jim's first kit, and the Kibler Woodsrunner? As we're seeing now, people are kind of going through the specs, and the images, although be it limited, on the Kibler website look very similar, so I've kind of broken down here the differences between the Kibler Colonial and the Kibler Woodsrunner. First up is going to be the inspiration for each of the kits. The Kibler Colonial kind of represents, in a broad sense, a colonial American long rifle from the late 18th century, covering a wide swath there and making that work. The Kibler Woodsrunner is really dedicated to a single point of origin, the original Woodsrunner rifle, believed to have been made in the 1760s in Virginia. Next up, the thing you're going to notice is going to be the barrel length between the Colonial and the Woodsrunner. The Colonial features a 43.25 inch long custom profile barrel, where the Woodsrunner features this 39.75 inch. So we're not quite into like Jaeger sporting rifle territory, but we are a bit shorter than the Kibler Colonial. I think that's going to be a big identifier for people between these two kits. Across the breech on the Kibler Colonial, you're going to find a 1.125 inch measurement across there. The Kibler Woodsrunner is going to measure just a little bit under that. Third, you're going to notice the length of pull with the Woodsrunner is going to be a little bit shorter. The Woodsrunner length of pull is 13.3/8 inches, while the Colonial is going to be 13.5/8. So we have a difference of 2/8 of an inch, or a 1/4 inch there, of length of pull between these two kits. Last of all, you're going to notice the shape of the buttstock is going to be a little bit different. The Kibler Colonial, in my opinion, has a little bit more of a pronounced comb as you come across the back of the buttstock, whereas the Woodsrunner has a little bit more of a sleeker, more subdued comb there. Again, you might notice differently. I encourage you to pull up pictures of the Woodsrunner and the Kibler Colonial yourself to compare. This might just be my own eye playing tricks on me. All in all, Kibler is kind of marketing this as a shorter, easier, lighter to carry, you know, real nice handling in the woods like a Woodsrunner would want kit. And I think it's going to provide an interesting niche that we're not necessarily seeing in some of the other kits that are still being manufactured here in the States. Kibler's reusing, again, that round-faced English lock, and it has a very similar, I think, based on the images that we've seen, at least 4 stock space with, like I said, a little variation in the buttstock. People are also asking why the Woodsrunner, and while I can't answer for Jim, I can provide some context based on some things that he's said in the past on the forums and other conversations. We've seen some buzz over the last year about a Kibler Fowler or maybe even a Kibler Hawken, but Jim has said that the Kibler Woodsrunner, being kind of the next addition, the third addition here to his lineup of kits, offered an easy step into another model, another expansion of the portfolio here that required some new development and a lot of new programming, obviously, for these different stock profiles and hardware inlets and things. But it's a little bit, I think, easier on the production timeline for him, and like he has said, to produce kind of a Colonial adjacent kit before stepping out into one of the other like Fowler or Kibler Hawken kits that we've seen mentioned over the years. We've just had the announcement for the latest Kibler kit, and people are already asking what the next one will be. Jim and Catherine are working their tails off, and the entire team is. As they've expanded, I encourage you to check out their content if you haven't already. They've purchased and started to saw their own logs to keep up with demand and control quality here, which I think is really interesting. Jim recently posted last month that they hired a dedicated programmer to begin development and help speed up the process on kit development. So we're hoping to see, I think all fans of Kibler are hoping to see that kind of pay off with quicker development for the next kit. Previously, Jim has mentioned that he would like to add some kind of English sporting rifle or some kind of Fowler to the lineup, as well as the Kibler Hawken with the Hawken craze that still continues to this day after Jeremiah Johnson. The mention of a Kibler Hawken, and with it a Kibler percussion lock, has been brought up. But as I've reached out, and as many other people have reached out to the Kibler's Long Rifles family here, the timelines on those are very fluid. They're not dedicating any thought really to that as far as timeline goes. So we can expect to see that sometime in the future, but don't expect it to be soon. The Kiblers are still a pretty small business in comparison to a lot of modern industry here. So as always, please try to be patient with them and you know, support them however you can. I think they've done a great job continuing muzzleloading enthusiasm here and bringing kind of a new tier of kits to be accessible to young folks like me. And I see it every day, which is really exciting. People kind of start out with the Traditions lineup of kits, or you might be familiar with the old CVA kits. They step into a Kibler, and after they've built the Kibler, they're ready for something a little more challenging, like a Chambers kit, like a Track of the Wolf kit, like a Pecatonica kit, something where they need to do a little bit more of the rough work, shaping out the stock and the inlet. So it's a really interesting gap that I don't think many of us thought needed to be filled, but now Jim and Catherine there have made just an incredible line of kits, I think. So it's a really exciting time for muzzleloader kit enthusiasts and muzzleloading in general. I hope we see, and I hope you see, a lot of these Kibler kits out at your events and matches and shoots this summer. If you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them and try to get Jim on the podcast to talk about this new kit. Once again, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.